Good afternoon. This is Detention 101, where you learn to be better organelles. First, I'm going to call roll. When I call your name, you need to raise your hand and tell me what class you're from. Ribosome. Here. I'm not in a class. I just flow through the hallways wherever I choose. I like to stay in the eukaryote high school, however. Okay. ER?
Here, we stick around our best friend Nucleus wherever he goes. Here, we stick around our best friend Nucleus wherever he goes.
Two of you? That's just great. Golgi apparatus? Here. I take online classes wherever I can find a quiet space in the eukaryotic high school. I just float around. Mitochondria?
Here, I hate class. I do not go regularly. I just go wherever I choose. And even sometimes I leave the eukaryote high school and head over to prokaryote middle.
Lysosome?
Here, I'm a senior, so I don't have any classes, so I just go around eukaryote high school and do my job. Well, most of the time.
Cytoskeleton? Cytoskeleton?
Good afternoon, detention. We just received word that the cytoskeleton failed to hold up the cytoplasm, which was his job in eukaryote high school, so he has been expelled. Also, as we decided to stop moving around, we have let the cilia and flagella go, as they were pretty useless at moving us anyways.
Okay, moving on. Nucleus? Nucleolus?
Here, I like to hang out in the exact middle of the quad, but only at eukaryote high school. Prokaryote middle does not have a quad for me to hang out in. My buddies, the ERs, are the best. Roll call sheet says chloroplast and cell wall are supposed to be here. Where are they? Unfortunately, we had to fire the chloroplast because our school was already bright enough, and we also laid off the cell wall because he wasn't the best security guard. Besides, this is omnivore detention, not vegetarian. The chloroplast and cell wall were supposed to feed and protect the plants, but failed, ending up in vegetarian detention. Get it right. Okay. Next, vesicle. Here, I like to hang out with my pal Golgi apparatus in the eukaryotic high school, but when I don't have class, I can be found anywhere in the high school. Finally, vacuole. Here, I don't really care about school, so wherever life takes me, I'll go, as long as it's in the eukaryotic high school.
Okay, now that I've got almost everybody here, why don't you all reflect on what you all did wrong to get yourselves into detention? First, the ribosome. I don't usually work. When I feel like doing work, I make protein shakes for the football team, or in other words, I help build proteins. The problem is, I forgot the protein at home, and because the football team did not have a protein source, they lost their game. That's how I got thrown in detention.
As the ER, I'm supposed to bring the shakes to Golgi. The problem is, I brought water instead of the shakes, and they threw me in detention for that. What losers.
Alright, Golgi, it's your turn. Ugh. My job was to put the shakes in the fridge and dole them out at lunch. They were paying me good money for it, but I kind of forgot to put them in the fridge, and along with Ribosome for getting the protein and ER bringing water, the athletes ended up with warm water for energy. Alright, mitochondria.
Well, my job is kind of boring. Basically, I'm one of the guys that provides the power for the school. Part of their whole Go Green initiative, you know? I sit on the exercise bike all day providing energy for the school. You see, yesterday I choked on the food because lysosome failed and, the school shut down. But it's lysosome's fault, not mine. I shouldn't be here.
Of course, the mitochondria blamed it on me, the lysosome. I'm the guy that prepares the food for him before he begins his workout, and I help him break it into smaller pieces so he can actually chew it. One day, mitochondria told me he was ready for bigger bites, but he ended up choking and couldn't do his jobs. Wait, why am I in detention anyway? It's not even my fault. Alright, calm down, boys. Nucleus, it's your turn.
Well, I kinda deserved attention. I sort of let the whole school down. I told everyone I would bring in donuts to give to people energy for the SATs today. See, our school has an amazing track record on tests, and I'm always the guy who supports everyone to do well. I mean, I am the most popular and the center of attention. But then I kinda forgot the donuts, and nobody had breakfast that day. I kinda made the whole school fail. What about you, Vesicle? Well, my job was to deliver the shakes from the ER to the GA, but I spilled some of them along the way and didn't tell anybody. I ended up only delivering half the amount, but I guess that wasn't good enough. Guess I kinda deserved to be put in detention. How about you, Vacuole? So, I'm supposed to stay after lunch and pick up all the trash people leave under tables and stuff, but yesterday I was running late and didn't really want to do it, so I threw all the trash into the kitchen instead of putting it in the trash can. How was I supposed to know that the stoves were still on and it would cause a fire?
Alrighty then. You guys had better get your act together. You all have 2 more hours to sit and contemplate what you've done. Hopefully by the end you will have learned your lesson and you will be successful in completing your job to maintain a healthy environment at your school. I'm going to leave the room for the moment and go talk to plasma membrane, but if anything happens while I'm gone, you guys all will be in detention for the next month.
So, how did it go? They behaved for the most part. Because I am jelly-like and mostly water, I was able to be present everywhere in the room at once so I could keep a good eye on the students. Although, many of them insulted you by calling you fat. I guess they are upset that you put them in detention. Well, I am composed of a phospholipid bilayer that surrounds an entire cell, so I take no offense to that. Speaking of which, what are each of the students in detention composed of? I would like to know so I can put it on their file to see if it has anything to do with their mischievous acts. Ah, I'm glad you asked. I've been taking notes since they're in detention. Well, here goes. The ribosomes are small and circular, and they are made of RNAs and proteins. The ER consists of membrane-enclosed flat tubes, and the rough ER had many ribosomes throughout their edges. Guess they are really close friends. The GA is made of flat, membrane-enclosed circular sacs called cisternae. There was a large group of them present in detention. The mitochondria was complicated. He was composed of an outer membrane, inner membrane, mitochondrial matrix, and cristae. He was pill-shaped and was fairly small, but I heard that there were many of them throughout the school. The lysosome are also small, and they are circular structures composed of enzyme complexes enclosed in a cell membrane. I also hear there are a lot of them throughout the school. Oh, and I found out the cytoskeleton was present, we just couldn't see him. He is a 3D structure composed of the fibers of microfilaments, microtubules, and intermediate filaments. He was there, we just couldn't see him because he was in the walls holding up the roof. Well, that's good to know. Who else? The cilia and flagella are made of microtubules, and they are small thin structures designed to move cells. They didn't show up, though. The nucleus was the largest organelle there, and he is made up of a nuclear envelope consisting of an outer membrane and inner membrane, chromatin, nucleoplasm, and a nucleolus. He contains genetic information such as DNA. The cell wall is made up of cellulose and plants and surrounds the cell, but he also wasn't present in detention. The chloroplasts are composed of an outer membrane, inner membrane, stroma, and thylakoids, and there are millions found on a plant leaf, yet not one showed up to detention. Funny how that works. The vesicles are composed of a lipid bilayer. They are fairly small, and there are many of them used to transport substances that can be seen throughout the high school. Lastly, the vacuoles are made of water and amino acids with a lipid membrane surrounding them, and I've also heard word that there are many of them wandering about. Thank you so much for all of the information. I will have it put on record. And thanks so much for overseeing detention. Have a good day.